some pork ribs here. Pork baby back ribs. Alrighty, this net weight 3.31 pounds, $2.49 a pound, with a total of $8.24 for this. They don't look bad, they look pretty good, pretty meaty, got some fat in here, but pat these down. We'll get these pat down, and I'm going to do these a little bit different. You know, usually I always put my seasoning on there, rub I like, let them cook for 2.5 to 3 hours until they're pretty tender. And then I usually always wrap them and put butter and brown sugar down. Well, this time we're not going to put any sugar on them. And we're going to try something a little different, and we're going to wrap them in butcher paper. Now, I've had this butcher paper for I don't know how long, over a year. And I thought, why should I have butcher paper if I'm not going to use it? So we're going to wrap them in butcher paper and see what happens. Okay, let's take off some of this fat here. Not all of it, some of it. It'll render down, I hope. I believe it will. And when I say I hope, it is wet outside. Damp, humidity has got to be 100%. We've had nothing but rain, as with a lot of people. I say rain, well, rain and mist. And, you know, coming out of that freezing temperature, we're getting our share of rain, but let me tell you, we needed that rain. All right, I think that's good enough on them. Get some of that down. The rest of that can render out. Maybe not all of it, but hopefully it will. And we're gonna cut that off there. Now let's flip it over and get that membrane off of there if we can. Yeah, look at that. Oh, ain't that what? Alright. Now, I'm gonna put some mustard on it. Now, we're not gonna wrap them right now. After 3 hours, we'll wrap them in butcher paper. We'll set them back on there. Hopefully. Now I'm just going to sprinkle it on there a bit. Not a whole lot. And now a little bit of SPG. Light. That looks pretty good on that side. Now let's turn it over. And we're going to give it a dust in here. I want to put my pepper on first, though, is what I want to do, but then we don't have to. Okay, now, and a little bit of SPG on this side. Yeah, put this rub on there. You use whatever rub you like. There. So, get the edges and all that in there. Get it all looking good. Put that down a bit. Now we're just going to bring these ribs out and we're going to set them on there for about 3 hours, and we're going to go 225. Okay, we're going to get these ribs set in here. I put a little tin foil down there to kind of help with cleanup. I'm going to see if it works. It may not work. Now I'm going to put a probe in these ribs. I know I don't need it, but I'm just going to kind of monitor and see. I'm going to leave these on here for about 3 hours, somewhere around 3 hours, 3.5. Then we're going to come back and wrap them in butcher paper. All right. Oh yeah. That's looking good. Everything's looking good. Let's get her shut back down. There we go. It's been on here about 1 hour and 15 minutes. And our temp, if you see it, yeah. Our temp is holding at 225. Everything's looking good. The internal temp of the ribs, that says 144 internal right now, and it looks like I have the target temperature set to 195 and I wanted it at 175. Yeah, it says 174. That's close enough. The internal temp right now is 145. The ribs are done, but we're going to get them tender. This is really looking good. Oh yeah. Now we're going to do something we usually don't do. We're going to mop on a little bit of this, putting Head Country Honey flavor in here on these ribs. Let them cook a little bit longer. We'll be back. Okay, here we're setting internal is 172. We're going to take them off and wrap them. The smoker, I turned it to 235, hold them there at 235. Let's get them off of here and let's get them wrapped. Oh yeah, I'll tell you what. That is looking good. Like I said, we got an internal temperature of 202. These things are looking good. Let's wrap them. I'm gonna wrap them meat side up. I'm just gonna put a little bit of this on there, on this back side. If we can get that on there pretty good. Try to set that. Well, it's about as far as one way as it is the other, isn't it? So we'll bring that over here. And then we're going to fold it on over once again. And then we'll put it back in there. We'll put it back in there meat side up. We'll see what happens. Okay, we got it in there, meat side up, got a probe in there, and we'll come back. It looks like we've got a temp of 203 internal, and that soaked up a lot of the juice. All right, let's see what it looks like here. Well, look at that. That looks awesome. We're going to let them rest. We'll come back. All right, let's cut these up. Mm. Tastes really good. Hey, they are tasty, they are good, and they're tender. Hey, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, I hope you consider subscribing.